So one of the things that I realized is I didn't really put down a very clear order of process. So I've kind of taken notes in what it is that I'd like to see, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to send this over to you as well. So let me start sharing my screen so I can kind of share entire screen. Okay, awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to resend you out something. It's going to be like this. You're basically going to get kind of the property address, the city name, basically all this information up to here. What I've done is I've went in and I've added a couple fields, and the fields I've added, let me kind of zoom in so you guys can see it as I go through. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. So after reviewed by, I have AVR. Now, in this case, this stuff is going to be left blank, and your AVR is actually going to be 0 or blank. The year assessment, I'm going to kind of, if you look up here, the year assessment, I'm going to kind of go through. This is going to come into play when you look at city data. And I guess to give you an overview of what I'm going to talk about, I'm just going to type it out real quick. First, I'm going to talk about the Excel spreadsheet. The second thing I'm going to talk about is the county recorder, assessor office. Assessor, I spelled assessor wrong. Sorry. Then the third thing I'm going to go over is Google Maps. The fourth thing I'm going to talk about is it's called citydata.com. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, I'm familiar with that website.
Okay. The fifth one I'm going to talk about is Zillow. Zillow.com and Realtor.com. So that's kind of the order of operation, and you'll get this information. You'll basically get all the information going in this order. But the last one we're going to come across is kind of the Zillow.com, and really what this video is meant to be is just to help me understand if this stuff makes sense for you, Alex. Because if it makes sense for you, it might make sense for the rest of the community out there. So the after repair values here, the year of the assessment, because under city data there's various years. They have 11, 12, 9. I want to know what year you guys are going off of. These right here are called household income, the median household income. So I'll show you when I'm in city data, I'm going to show you where it shows the median household income. In this case, in this area, it's 55,137. The city, that's for the state of Illinois. The city, in this particular example, the household median income, there's actually two numbers, which we can talk about that in a minute. But in this case, it's 53,000. Now the variance, with this variance of the household income variance, what I did is I divided the city by the state, and I got this variance number. Why I did this, what I'm trying to accomplish here, when we start looking at 20, 30, 100 properties, what I'm looking for is I'm trying to figure out what properties are going to be the best properties to go after. Properties that tend to be in a higher income area are going to, or where a city is in the higher median income area, that means more people can afford it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so by giving me this number here, it just shows me, hey, this one is around the state average. And what's interesting is I did it for this zip code, and I'm going to punch in the zip code here. The zip code for this area, the median average is 74,946. And so what happens is that this general vicinity, this city, and I'll show you, has a high median income, which as you see here, the variance just picks that up really fast. And so rather than looking at numbers, this kind of gives us a little bit easier of a number to look at. So what is also interesting is the let's see, I'm going to do this differently. All right, so I'm going to do this equals.
I'm sorry, what you did just now, under the city household income median, you changed it from the city to the zip code. Is that what you did?
There's what I believe so. It might have gone from the city or the zip. I think it might have been, that might be the zip code.
This new number, 74,946, is for the zip code?
You know what? I'm gonna have to look at that to see exactly what that is. I think it was for the city. I'll show here. I'll actually jump over there right now and show you what it is I'm talking about. So here's what I did is I typed in Orland Hills, Illinois. So when you go to I'll kind of jump forward here, but when I go to city data, you're going to get this screen, and I just typed in the city, which obviously it's pretty simple. If I just go here, there's the city, and then there's the zip. But in this case, I just typed in the city, the city. So now I hit go. What's going to happen is Orland Hills, Illinois pops up. Now, what I'm going to show you is the information here. The population is based on the year 2012. So a lot of the information that I'm going to put in is going to be here. When I ask about the year, that's where I put the year of the assessments from the city, I guess city data. I should put city data. So that's why I put 2012 in that box. Now, going back here, going back on this website, what it's showing me is that in Orland Hills, in 2012, the median income was 74,946. Okay.
Sure.
So that number is what I put in right there.
Okay.
All right. Now the Illinois median was 55,137. Again, right there, 55,137. This gives me a variance of 135.9. Now, what that's telling me is that this is 35. The median income is 36% above the state's median income. Now, the other thing I'm looking at is the house and condo value. So the house and condo values right here are 196 in Orland Hills. On this one, I'm showing median house value at 55. Okay. Excuse me. So the median HP stands for home price. So the state median home price is 170.60, which is right here, and then the city is 178. Now, in this case, it says 196. Why is there a discrepancy? Here's why there's a discrepancy. When you go down to this chart actually zooms in on a specific area. Okay.
Okay.
So this area is the actual area that we're going to be doing an analysis on. I'm going to zoom out here real quick to show you kind of what it is I'm looking at. So under this detail, it tells you the median income, home price, as well as some other factors. Just go ahead and leave it. You can actually check on various surrounding areas, and it's going to give you statistics on various areas in this box. It's going to give you median household income, and so I kind of don't know which is the right answer. So, but what I'm doing, what's interesting about this is that this red area, when I click on it, it gives me the median household income is 53,393. Now, if I were to go down next to that box, it tells me that my median income is 106.52. What it does, it also gives you demographics, the household. So it's mainly like, for instance, let me do something real quick. So this yellow line indicates the information here. It's mainly a family. There's a lot more families than non-families in that area. Population by race, whites, blacks, Asians, and Hispanics. It tells me the median household income for this area is 106. The median house price is 280,000, and so forth. So the city data on this, so when I look at just this area here, I click on it, and it gives me the median household income of these numbers. So in this case, it's 53,393 is the number, and that's the number I'm going to be going with, not this. And I guess right here is, do I want to use both of them? Would that be? I'm kind of asking you. Do you think that'd be better to use both of them, or what I'm going to go for is I'm just going to say use the number, whatever number's in this box, because it's more accurate to that specific area. So that's kind of my default answer. Now, it may be that this is an old number, it hasn't caught up or whatever, but c'est la vie, we'll use that. So then we go to the median home price. If you look here, it says the median home price is 178,327, and that's the number I put there. Okay.
Sure.
So the variance, that gives me a variance of the home price. The state home price, as you can see, the home price medium is 170,600, and then the city home price medium is 178. So the variance means that there's roughly one. So the home prices are a little bit more than the state average. Now, this right here is going to be the variance, total variance. I'm going to change that to total variance. And that just adds the value for the home price and the median home prices. So this is a 2. The rents are also found here. If you see here, median contract rents, $965. Okay. Whereas if you go up to the city, you can see right here the gross median rent was $1143. So whereas in this case the median gross rent for that area is $965. So this is kind of this stuff is mainly for city data,
right,
information, and it also gives you a good idea of what's going on around that neighborhood in terms of the other areas. So you can use this to go over other areas.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
It looks like you have 2 separate numbers for the rent and also some of the other numbers too.
Yeah.
So where's the difference coming from? I know that the rent here, the rent average says $965, but But aren't both of those numbers, the 965 and the 1143, weren't they both representing Orland Hills?
Yeah, and this is where my answer is I don't really know. I don't really know how that affects that. That's where I'm kind of confused, and I don't know which is the best number to use.
So both numbers were recorded for Orland Hills.
Yeah, so both of those numbers. Now, what I do know is all the numbers up here. All the numbers at the top represent Orland Hills everything is as of 2012.
Right.
This is an interactive data map. I don't know how accurate that is. So I would actually be okay with you using these numbers up here, the bigger numbers. Here's why. So that for the most part is the that's what I'm going to be sending you guys out in terms of this part, as well as maybe some other stuff. Now, what I'm also going to do is, what I want to do is on the sheet, on your guys' sheets, what I want you to do is put in, I want you to put in the address to the city that you're doing. So in this case, this one is Haven. So just put in the number and then Haven. So copy that and then go down here to the tab and then just rename it, 719 Haven. So what these are going to be is these are going to be basically your the comps. So let me see if I want to do that just right now. Okay, that's the other thing I want you guys to do is add the street number and name and then come here with the comps. I've already done some comps and I'll show you in a minute more how I was able to do that. So with Illinois, you actually can go out and you can go to Google and you can actually find the county assessor's office. Now, this specific property in Haven, the county is right here, Cook County. So I'm going to go over here and put Cook County Assessor, Illinois. Let's see, Cook County Assessor, right here, property search. Now, this is actually a really good thing to use. If you can use a county assessor's office to get some information, that's always good as well. When you do a property, I would go to property search because for this list we don't have the assessor's parcel number. So what you do is you put in the house number. In this case, it's 16672. The street name is Haven, and the city is Orland Hills. Okay. Keep it simple. Just throw a big net out. I wouldn't get into directions and numbers if you don't have to.
Right.
So it's going to ask you for a little code. Make sure you're a person and not a robot.
Right.
GBG. Now, what's convenient about Cook County Assessor's Office is that they give you a picture of the house. So this is the picture of the house, and it tells you the estimated market value right here. So it went from 187 down to 173. That's what they're estimating this at. What I'm finding is that that might be pretty accurate. Garage type, 2.5 cars, 1 full bath, 1 half bath, single family, some some basic information. Uh, Gives us the square footage right here. And what is good, when you go here, you can actually verify this stuff with the information that was sent. So the square footage on the list that I sent you says 1037. Let's see if it has it here. Right there, building square footage. If you can see that.
Yes, 1037.
1037. Assessment passed, so, you know, exterior construction, frame and masonry, single family, multiple levels, split level residency with lower level below grade, all ages, all sizes. Just some basic information. This says 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Lot size is 1.817. Year built is 1988. So just some basic information. There are other information. Here's the assessor's parcel number if you need it, etc. So this what I realize is this gives us a good idea to make sure that we can verify the house in one spot. Now, what I ended up doing is I ended up going to Zillow and I looked up Orland Hills. Now in Zillow, actually let me do Google Maps first because I said I was going to do Google Maps. So I looked up the address on Google Maps. So I'm going to go to Google Maps now. So what we want to do is we want to go to Google Maps, and I know I talked about this yesterday. What I do is I take a macro view to see what the area is like. Here's one of the things. I just want to get a good point of reference. Now, one of the crucial things about this specific property when you zoom in is that these houses are in rows, and it's in a very tight tract type of house, which is good, which means that most of these are probably the same. There are other houses that sometimes, this is for other properties, what you want to look at when you do a top view approach is you want to look, when you go to Google Earth, that the houses are similar. And I don't know how this is coming up on your screen, but the houses tend to be similar, setbacks, similar lines, pools. Sometimes when you go to different tracks, like this is a prime example when you go across the street, these tracks have huge backyards. You see that up on the right there?
Yeah.
So sometimes when you get comps, you want to take a bigger view. This is another prime example. These houses tend to look like they're bigger on smaller lots. These look like bigger homes on smaller lots than these ones over here. So I just tend to look to see if there's congruency in the homes. In this kind of area, I'm gonna guess that there are. So let's go back to map view. What I'm going to do is then take a step in and take a look at the house. So what I'm looking for typically is if you click on the actual address, which for me I already know where this address is, it's right here. So this is the house right now as of May. Up here on the left it says May 2012 was when it was looked at. If you zoom in, this is what the house looks like, which is, going back to the county assessor's office, is very similar to what that property looks like. You follow me?
Right.
Okay. What I'm looking for in this picture is I'm specifically looking for the neighborhood. I look at the cars to see what the cars are like, and I'm also looking at as weird as this sounds, the mailboxes, the grass. I'm also looking to see, one of the things is all these mailboxes are new, The houses around here tend to be in really good shape. The fences are painted. So for me, this area tends to look like a pretty nice area. You got cars in the driveway that look nice, fairly new cars. The houses are in in pretty good conditions. I'm not seeing houses board up. I'm not seeing overgrown shrubbery. So these are all good signs that this is a nicer area, and that's kind of what you want to see when you look at this. And what I'm also looking for is consistency. For example, this house this house right here kind of looks like our subject property. So all these houses look the same. They're not custom houses. This house looks, for the most part, like it's there's been improvements. So what you want to look at when you're doing analysis to see how the neighborhood is, I would say it's fine.
Okay.
Um, I actually like this property, just the little information I got out of it. So I I think this is a pretty good location in terms of neighborhood. You have somebody doing a garage.
Hello, Robert.